Are you ready to apologize to Jimmy Butler and admit that that man is a superstar?
If you want to be called a superstar, you have to be a top 10 player. He's not your closer. He's not in the caliber of a Kevin Durant, a Dame Lillard, a LeBron, a Steph Curry. He's never been in that category. I'm not going to pretend.
He just scored 56 points on the
Good
number
for
one
him.
seed. You are a hater,
We
bro.
saw TJ Warren score 50 points a few years back. Is he a superstar? Fuck out of here.
What are
Come
you
on.
talking about, bro?
I'm not taking anything away from Jimmy, but I'm not going to call him a superstar.
Well, I'm going to call you a hater. We watching the Knicks bust ass right now. Yo, prayers to Julius Randle, but Obi Toppin, he just had a fire ass dunk, man. I'm so excited for the Knicks. We here.
I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy.
Thank you.
14-point lead right now in a closeout game. That's huge. That's really huge. And
in Cleveland, in the shitty ass city of Cleveland.
Yes, in Cleveland. And 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years since the Knicks have won a playoff series.
Yeah, yo. I might cry on the live tonight, guys, if they win.
You cannot cry for a first round win. Don't do that. Yeah. You got to wait until at least they make it to the conference finals to shed a tear.
Yo, Pat Bev cried after the play-in win.
Yeah. Come on. And look at where the Timberwolves are.
Come on, you got to be able to be vulnerable, bro. Like, yo, and I'm fine. People are trying to clown the Knicks fans for celebrating outside the Garden, climbing the poles in the city after one home win. But you guys, it's been 10 years, and sorry you can't have as much fun as us. You wish. I
don't like that because you didn't have that same energy when Philly was acting that way when we were going to the Super Bowl and going nuts. No, you were talking about how the last time we won the Super Bowl, people were in the streets eating shit. Like, that's what you wanted to talk about.
Bro, that's what happened. Nobody was eating shit in New York.
We don't know.
Well, we do know who was eating shit in Philadelphia. We all saw it, unfortunately. So you got to wear that. But, hey, that's where I draw the line is eating
Super
shit.
Bowl is a lot bigger than winning a Game 3, all right?
Yo, you making excuses for shit eating, and, that's where you draw the line. But, hey. I'm happy. We're getting a lot of fucking upsets, yo.
Yeah.
The Lakers are up in their series.
That's
right.
The
Knicks are up in their series. The Heat are up in their series.
I gotta say, the Heat is probably the biggest surprise for me.
Really?
Yeah. I thought the Lakers were gonna give the Grizzlies some problems, but I thought the Grizzlies would probably win in 6 games. The Heat, though, what they're doing right now to the Bucks, regardless. Giannis has been hurt. He's clearly not 100% with his tailbone injury or whatever it might be. But I think it's really a pretty solid playoffs.
It's a great playoff for the first round, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We were talking before this, and it feels like any team can win.
Yeah.
You brought up the Heat, and I just wanted to ask you personally. It's been a thing on our live for years, bro. You've always said Jimmy Butler is not a superstar. I mean, he took me to the bubble finals on his back. But that man put up 56 points and put the Heat up 3-1 on the number 1 seed, man. Are you ready to apologize to Jimmy Butler and admit that that man is a superstar?
Playoff Jimmy. Listen, I still don't think he's like... For me, if you want to be called a superstar, you have to be a top 10 player.
Bro, so you're still refusing to respect...
I respect Jimmy Butler. He's a great all-around player. But he's not your closer. He's not in the caliber of a Kevin Durant, a Dame Lillard, a LeBron, a Steph Curry. He's never been in that category. I'm not going to pretend.
He just scored 56 points on the number 1 seed. Wow, you are a hater.
We saw TJ Warren score 50 points a few years back. Is he a superstar? Fuck out of here.
What are you talking about, bro? This is the fucking NBA playoffs. He scored like the 4th most points ever in the history of the NBA playoffs.
Impressive.
Did you watch it?
Impressive.
You watch the game?
I saw him ball out. He was great. He was phenomenal. It was super efficient. He passed listen, I'm not taking anything away from Jimmy, but I'm not going to call him a superstar.
Wow, I'm going to call you a hater again. Wow, you refuse, man. Hey, it's all good.
Fine.
Dame Lillard never made the NBA Finals, and he never will.
Okay. I'm not going to say that.
But you know who has made the NBA Finals, man? Phil Jackson. A bunch of times. But Phil, he recently did an interview with Rick Rubin on Rick Rubin's podcast, two old white guys who, are hippies.
He felt comfortable.
Real comfortable. They had their shoes off. He felt real comfortable in his white, comrade to speak his mind. And he said he hasn't watched the NBA since 2020, which was surprising to hear from me. But, Jalen Rose was upset at the reason why.
Yeah, he was. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
I have actually been a customer of BetterHelp
in
for
a second after
these 2 years now.
these commercial
and I was able to get
messages.
matched up with a therapist in like
Doesn't need to be there.
You can't make this up. Hall of Fame coach and 11-time champion Phil Jackson claims to have stopped supporting the NBA because it became too political when it went into the bubble and was catering to certain audiences by putting slogans on the back of jerseys and Black Lives Matter on the floor. The same Phil Jackson that won championships with some of the greatest black athletes in the history of the game. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, made millions on their backs and off their sweat equity. You're sitting up watching the game with your grandkids and y'all think it's funny when justice passes the ball to equal opportunity? When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. So stop watching forever.
Well, let's talk about it, y'all.
Woo! I like that energy. You know what? I've always really liked Jalen Rose.
Okay.
I have. And I'm glad he spoke so eloquently about this because, he had a lot of really good points. And when you think about what Phil Jackson has meant to the game of basketball that's dominated by black players, he's coached and mentored black players.
With,
on
the New York Knicks
played
back
with,
in the 70s.
won a championship with, and done all these things for the game. It's really surprising that he would feel this way.
I mean, come on. He got criticism when he was the Knicks VP.
He did.
Or president, not vice. He was the Knicks president.
Yeah, he ran that team into the ground.
I wouldn't say he ran him to the ground. He didn't do a great job. But, no, for real. I mean, Steve Mills ran the Knicks. And don't get me started, man. I'm trying to enjoy this. But I mean, he got in a lot of heat back in like 2016 when he said, LeBron came with his posse, and LeBron was like, nah, my that's my business team. Like you see me with my black friends and think that they're just some posse, some hanger-ons. No, like my people actually work in my business and they handle my shit.
Yeah.
So he got a lot of heat for that, and I actually remember defending him during that time. I was like, he's an old white guy. What do you expect him to say?
Yeah.
So this didn't surprise me too much, and honestly, I gotta say those those words on the back of the jerseys, they were funny to me too. I was like, this does not solve any problems. I'm sorry. I was really more for Kyrie Irving's stance of let's leave the bubble, let's not play at all. Fuck it. That's what I really enjoyed. But the NBA said, we'll let you guys put these fun words on your back. And, but I mean, it's important to spread awareness. But for him to say it ruined the game of basketball for him, that's where I find it offensive.
It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Politics have been in basketball and really a ton of different sports for the last 60 years. And well before that, too. But now suddenly it's a problem. It's okay to have logos on jerseys and all these different sponsors and things like that for a capitalist aspect. But when it has to do with people's lives, then it's a problem.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It is disappointing. It's disappointing to hear him say those types of things. I did find the NBA's move silly, but not enough to ruin fucking basketball for me. I think you got to come from a real specific type of place to feel that way.
Yeah. I mean, listen, do I think that more could be done? There's always more that can be done. But at least they did something.
I don't know if I'd count that as something, but
I mean,
hey, Phil Jackson did. He said, I'm done. But I feel like he's bitter.
They're trying to cater to the black people.
I think Phil's just bitter, because his run at the Knicks didn't go well. Him and Jeannie Buss broke up. He's lost. He don't really have a place in basketball, and I feel like he's just using this as an excuse. But I think he's a hurt man, speaking from a hurt place. So that's how I feel about it. But speaking of hurt men, DeJounte Murray, he was suspended from the Hawks for getting in the face of a referee, man. Like, the playoffs have been real physical. The Hawks actually got it done versus Celtics last night.
They did.
Shout out to Ice Trae Young.
Mm-hmm.
Getting it done. He can come to the Knicks too if he wants.
That's the guy that beat y'all in the play. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, never mind, because your team's not in the playoffs, son.
This year.
Not next year. You gonna switch, yo. If Dame Lillard gets traded to the Brooklyn Nets,
I'm gonna be upset.
You're gonna have a Nets jersey on the next day. You're gonna pre-order that.
Not the next day, but I'll probably still rock my old Dame Blazers jersey when I go to the games and get season tickets. It'll probably be something like that.
Oh man, that would be dope. I saw that rumor. I was like, okay.
I hope not.
I don't think he'll win a championship there, but at least we'll get to see him, and he'll be able to, do some collabs with some Brooklyn drill rappers.
I mean, the Nets actually, they can bring players there for some reason. So maybe, who knows? I don't want him to go there. I don't want him to go there. But I thought that just suspension was kind of crazy. DeJounte got up in the ref's face and was clearly woofing at him and stuff, and then ref stared him down, and then I guess after that it was sayonara.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA, the one thing last week I wanted to talk about was Draymond stomping Sabonis in the chest. That was the one thing I really wanted to discuss.
Of all the things last week, that was the one.
Most of the stuff happened this week, I feel like. A lot of this shit, man.
What'd you think about it? The stomp?
The stomp, man, it was dirty. It was dirty as fuck. But hey, I think he deserved to be suspended after that. For sure.
Yeah, I will say, in real time, it didn't look like it was that bad. It looked like he lost his balance and then was trying to pull his foot out and just stomped on him. But in the slow down version from the baseline, it looked like he looked back and was like, "Oh, boom!" Sit down, boy.
Yo, he jumped off him like Super Mario Brothers, hopping off a little block or something. It was crazy. He bounced off his chest. So, but hey, it's all good. That series is tied 2-2.
Yeah.
But yo, we did get some news. Our boy Ime Udoka, he's the next Houston Rockets head coach. Man, talk about a bounce back.
He is. Good for him. Good for him. It took a little year off after trying to sleep with all the employees over at the Celtics.
Allegedly, we don't know. We never knew the story.
Yeah, sure.
But he's been through, sensitivity training, and he's ready to, to be to coach the worst team in the NBA. Hopefully, they get homeboy. I still can't say his fucking name. You know it because you want to get him.
Who?
Fucking the number 1 pick this year.
Oh, Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully he lands in Houston. I feel like it's gonna be Houston or the Spurs. They always get the premier big men. The Rockets had Yao Ming, Hakeem Olajuwon. They drafted.
I'm just saying that Blazers have a 10.5% chance of getting the number 1 pick. That's pretty good. I'll take a 1 in 10 chance any day.
This is the saddest shit I've ever heard.
It's not sad at all.
It's the playoffs. Let's move on.
You were just talking about the Rockets. They only have a 15% chance, 16% chance. That's not a huge difference.
Bro, you're not going to be a Blazer fan after this year. Let's be real.
We'll
Dame's
see.
going.
We'll see.
Hopefully. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Spotify. Follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
All the apps. We're everywhere. We are everywhere.